Good morning. On this video, I'm going to be putting my hinges together. I've already put the passenger side hinges together just to make sure everything was going to work before I tried to shoot a video on it. So what we're going to do first is, well, let me show you some things here. I ordered a kit to replace the pins and bushings in both sets of hinges. And when you order the kit, this is the part number. I ordered this from C3 Corvette. And this kit comes with everything you need to do both sets of hinges. It gives you 4 pins and 8 bushings so you can do both doors. And you can do it on the car. I've done that before. It's a little bit more of an inconvenience, but you can do it. Luckily, this is really easy doing it off the car. So the main thing I wanted to do first is the bushings go into this piece here, which this piece mounts to the A pillar on the car. And then the pieces like this mount to the door. And you can tell the difference right away because of the bolt pattern. You can see here how these are straight in line with each other. Well, these are a little closer together, but I mean, they're straight up and down. Where here, they're at an angle. So you know the angle one goes on the doors. And when you're putting these hinges together, the main thing you want to remember is the 2 flat sides go together. So if you're trying to put it together like that, you got it on backwards. So make sure you're putting it together that you have both flat sides facing each other and the hinges together properly. So the first thing I want to do is take a scraper and just kind of clean out the paint that got in these holes when they were painted. And it doesn't take much, and it would probably still go in there, but I just want to make sure, because I have had where those bushings squeezed down a little bit, and I've had to go in there and kind of polish them out because they're kind of an odd size, so I don't have a standard reamer that will fit them. And I never really checked to see if they're metric or not. I wouldn't think they would be on a 71, but you never know. I know in those years, that's about the time the automotive industry was converting over some things to metric. And I don't think they did it in 71, though. I didn't think they did. Okay, that's the main thing. Just get the worst of paint out so there's nothing in there that could cause that bushing to collapse down too tight or crack. Because they're just bronze bushings, and it doesn't take much to break them. The springs, when I bought this car, it was missing the door springs. So I bought these, I think at the time when I bought them from Eckler's. I don't remember what I paid for them, and I don't remember what the part number is, but you can just look up door springs if you need some. And they're real easy to put in. There's a tool you can buy to put them in. I just use a pry bar, works the same way. And with them off the car, they go in real easy. On the car, it's a little bit trickier because you got to get it past the hinge and everything. So the first thing I want to do is I want to press the bushings in these holes. And I just use a vise for that. You could tap them in with a hammer and you know, like a piece of aluminum or a block of wood. But like I said, these flanges are real thin. If you just hit them wrong, they break right off. So I just like doing a vise because it's a little more control over it. Okay, and I just do one side at a time and just make sure you get it started on there straight so you don't crush it or break it or something. Sometimes you got to move it around a little bit. Once it's lined up, you can just go right on in. It goes in really easy. I don't put any grease on and push them in because they go in so easy. And there you go. Okay, the next thing I like to do is I like to run a tap through these holes on both sets because you get overspray in there and there's a little bit of dirt in them from age and stuff. So just to make it easier to install in the car, I just take a tap and just you know, run it through there and just kind of clean them out. That way you don't have to fight the bolts going in tight or anything. I've already cleaned up all the bolts. Okay. Got all the threads cleaned up in the hinges. Okay, so now we're gonna start putting them together. I like to put the lower hinge together first because it doesn't have this spring in it, so it's easier to put together, goes together a little faster. Like I was saying before, make sure that when you're putting them in, that you put the two flats lined up with each other, and also make sure that you're grabbing the right half of each hinge to go with the right piece. Because this is a lower one, it doesn't have that spring on it, so it doesn't have any cutouts in here for the spring to fit in it. And you can see on the driver's side, it does have the cutouts. So if you put this on the lower, your spring's not gonna work because you can't, if you put it in here, there's no rollers for it to hit on. And if you put this on here, you can't put the spring on the upper one. So make sure you keep track of which one goes where. They're stamped from the factory for left side of the car and right side of the car, but I went ahead and stamped them. I don't know if that's showing up, but you can see where I stamped them, driver's lower, and then like this one here. Let me say this one here. See, the factory has it stamped left, but I stamped it driver upper. So just so I don't get confused when I'm putting them back together, but the first thing I want to do is grease up these bushings. And you don't need to put a whole lot of grease on it because if you slide it together, it just rubs it off, but mainly just for assembly and get a little bit of lubrication in there. And then every so often you want to lubricate these. And like I was saying before, make sure you have driver lower, and that these two faces face the same direction when you're putting it together. Okay. And then just slide it together till the holes line up. And then you can see, if you're not sure, you can see normally on here, especially on a used hinge, the serrations in there from the pin, because if the pin is knurled on the head, and so you want to be sure to put it in, and it goes in from the top normally, so that if it would work loose, it can't fall out. If you put it in from the bottom and it would happen to be a little bit loose, it could fall out and your door come loose. So make sure you're putting it in the right direction. Pretty simple. Okay, and what I do is, because these are freshly painted, I don't want to scratch them up too much, I just set it where this pin goes in between the jaws on the vise and set it up on here like that. I don't know if that's showing up. Okay, like that. And it didn't take much to tap it. And that's it. That hinge is done. Okay, for the upper hinge, you have this spring that has to go on here. So you have to make sure you put it in there correctly. And the way that goes in, you want to slip this in. You can see that little flat on there on the spring. That goes in that hole. You just turn it like this and put it up in that hole. And then what you have to do, you have to twist this spring and then drive it down into that slot right there. And that's what locks it in place. So what I do is I just come in here and clamp that spring in the vise, and then take a pry bar, and it doesn't take much pressure. Just pry it down like that, and then tap it in until it bottoms out. You can see how it's bottomed out in this slot. And now it's locked in there, it can't come out. Put a bit of grease on this. I had some on there, but I rubbed it off when I put it in the vise. Okay. And then again, you know, flat side to flat side, so it goes like that, right? Okay. There we go. And then you can see the serrations in there from the knurl, from the pin. And then the same thing again, you just put it on here and tap it down. There you go. And I can't, takes quite a bit to pop it there by hand, but when it's on the door, of course, you have the door popping it open and closed. So there you go. The hinges are finished. They're good and tight. That's how you install your hood hinge pins. And it's pretty easy. And you don't need a lot of special tools, so don't go buy that. I think it's like 15 bucks or 30 bucks for a screwdriver they have heated up and bent on the end like that. If you got a pry bar, even just a straight screwdriver will work. It doesn't necessarily have to be bent like that. I think they mainly bend it like that, so if you have to do it in the car, it makes it easier to do in the car. Out here, you see I got plenty of room. I could use just a big straight screwdriver, would have done the same thing. So that's all it takes. So I appreciate you guys watching, and like I always say, have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.